back your homes, or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
There's a woman in the Ice and Fire series whose beauty tore a hole within House Targaryen, and it would lead to dozens of one-on-one fights to the death over her love, though she never let any man have her heart. The following will contain spoilers from A Song of Ice and Fire and also the show of Game of Thrones, so be careful if you do not want anything spoiled if you're not already caught up with everything. Alright, so a few days back I talked about Brynden Rivers, one of the great bastards of King Aegon Targaryen IV, and how Brynden lived a life of much adventure and honor. Many HBO show only fans don't know who Brynden is, but the simple fact is he was the three-eyed raven before Bran Stark. Now this is important because in his younger life he fell in love with his half-sister Shira Seastar. But before I get into that, if you want to check out my video on Brynden, click here and then come back when you're done. Okay, so Aegon IV had many mistresses and many bastards. Bastards are usually held to next to nothing when it comes to royal children. But then there are great bastards, children from parents that are both of noble houses. On occasion, great bastards are legitimized and go on to hold titles and land. Brynden was a great bastard, as well as his half-sister Shira Seastar. They were both legitimized along with two other great bastard half-siblings when their king father was on his deathbed. Shira's mother was Aegon's ninth and final mistress. Her name was Sarene of Lys. Sarene was born to a very old and very poor Valyrian noble family. She was rumored to practice black magic. On top of that, people believe she was much older than she looked, and the argument was that Sarene would bathe in blood as part of a ritual to keep her looking young. As far as how old she was speculated to be, your guess is as good as mine, but regardless, it was a very popular belief among people of the realm, and it doesn't stop there. Just as many believers had the notion that Shira possessed these abilities too. Oh, and last thing to add, Shira's mother died giving birth to her. Anyway, Shira Seastar was beautiful, so much in fact that she was regarded as the most beautiful woman of her time, and yes, many men died fighting over her. Yet she refused marriage to every lover she ever had. Shira was wanted by both Brynden and her great bastard half-brother Aegor Rivers. She would let Brynden sleep with her on occasion, but once again refused his many marriage proposals. Aegor never got to have Shira as a lover, since she repeatedly rejected him, and it led to a lifetime of Aegor hating Brynden. Along with her beauty, she was known for being Westeros' biggest seductress. Imagine someone who is known to scheme, like Varys and Littlefinger, and now replace those characters with a woman who could get anything and any man she wanted, only to have that man die later on because of a dispute with another one of her lovers. This was basically who Shira Seastar was. She may not have been known for it, but it seems like Shira might have been playing with men's hearts, knowing they would meet their demise in the near future. Since there isn't that much about Shira in the books, or the show for that matter, it's hard to figure out what her overall plans were. She was born around 180 years after Aegon's conquest, a little bit more than 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones starts. Another Ice and Fire related series known as the Tales of Dunk and Egg mentions Shira Seastar, and the plot of the series takes place around her timeline, unlike A Song of Ice and Fire. And since currently only 3 out of a potential 12 novels have been written, there's a good chance that we will one day learn a lot more about who she was. Going off the average lifetime for characters in Westeros, we would assume Shira is long dead, but I personally find that hard to believe. Her lover and brother Brynden Rivers did not die until just recently, and he was born in 175 AC, which is before Shira was born. It's entirely possible Shira Seastar is still alive, especially if she took after her mother and also bathes in blood to stay young. According to the lore, Shira's fate is unknown, and something to also think about is that she was brilliant. She spoke many languages and apparently had an enormous library. Some say that in that library were books on black magic, something her mother was famously known for. Shira could be hanging around in current-day Westeros, just as beautiful as she was 100 years ago. It's not that far-fetched. Melisandre is alive, and the showrunners of Game of Thrones have alluded the Red Woman's age to be several hundred years old. The question is, if She-Ra is alive, where is she? And have we seen her already? I'd like to think so. Faceless men are running around portraying people who are long dead, just as followers of the Lord of Light are wearing rubies around their neck, changing their natural appearance. Not to mention the White Walkers, dragons, direwolves, giants, children of the forest, and everything else that wouldn't be realistic in anything other than the fantasy that is Game of Thrones. She-Ra Seastar had silver gold hair and mismatched eye colors, one blue and one green. So if we see a beautiful woman in the background of a scene or in a future book fitting that description, don't forget about the great Targaryen bastard whose fate is still unknown. Maybe she's been in front of our eyes the whole time. Let me know what you think. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and check the notification bell to enter the current giveaway for Season 6 of Game of Thrones on Blu-ray. I'll be announcing the winner on YouTube February 1st, so just wait for my upload then and find out if you've won. Alright everyone, have a great day, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.